Welcome guys to Rondane, Norway's very first national park. That was hard work. In this video we're going to try to summit at least two 2000 meter peaks in only one day. So today we're only going to do the approach to the mountain, and then we're going to set up the tent and get ready for the morning. So this trip was kind of spontaneous. I woke up this morning and I thought, I want to go hiking, and I want to go hiking today. So I asked my fiance, would it be possible for me to just go hiking for one night and maybe ascend a couple of 2000 meter peaks? And eventually she said yes, so here I am. The only thing, I promised her that I will be back for dinner tomorrow. So by 4 o'clock I have to complete my hike, at least two 2000 meter peaks. So I guess I have to wake up around 4:30, 5 o'clock, get ready and just push through as fast as I can, because the distance can be quite long. I guess around 30 to 35 kilometers and a couple of thousand meters of elevation. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Mads. I'm an outdoor enthusiast and educated exercise physiologist, and I like to spend as much time as possible out in the wild. Since I have a full-time job at the university, I have to find these small pockets when I can do these projects in the mountains. So this is a classic example of a typical trip that I would take. I usually spend 1 or 2 nights out, and I travel to the national parks and the area around where I live. And I live in Lillehammer, a small city known for the Olympics back in '94. Besides of that, it's a quiet town, but it's close to many of the national parks and some great outdoor places. So that's why we moved to Lillehammer. So now you know a little bit about me. Hope you enjoyed this video. We're getting close now, and from here I can see Rondslottet, which is the most famous tourist cabin here in Rondane. So I think I'm just going to hike down to the river and see if I can find a decent campsite around here. That was a big trout, I guess. It's forecasted to go down to around freezing or 2 degrees tonight. So I'm going to combine putting on a pair of long johns and my favorite piece of gear of all time, the Western mountaineering flight pad. I like to use this inside the sleeping bag to increase the comfort, so I don't have to bring such a big sleeping bag. Just combine these two. Then I'll be good. And in addition, I'm going to put on these socks from Seapacks. Super light down socks. They weigh in at around 40 grams, I think. So next to nothing. That will give me a good, nice sleep.
morning, guys. The time has just passed 4:30, but it's quite cold. I haven't checked the temperature, but it feels like around 0. We can see when we're finished the breakfast. Alright guys, we're on the move. It was actually down to -3 degrees this night. So that makes sense because I was a bit cold in my super thin sleeping bag. But I'm glad I brought the Western Mountaineering flight pant and the down socks, because those 2 items saved me this night. So now we're ready for the first ascent. Hey, good morning, friends.
What a beautiful morning. So the mountain you see behind me is Rondslottet. So that's the second summit we're going to hike up today. But first we're going up that one. This is it. Woo! We made it up to the first top. Let's check the sign. Veslesmeden, 2015 meters. On a sunny, perfect day. And next up, Rondslottet, over there. So now we have to go all the way down to the valley again and then start the ascent on the back of that mountain. So we're going to follow the marked trail up to the top. It's not bad being on the summit 8:30 in the morning. So I think I'm en route to get back within 4 o'clock. But there's a long way from here and up to Rondslottet. So we need some chocolate. Okay, so here's a dilemma. If I continue up the valley, I have to go over a pass, then go down and around to hit the trail up to Rondslottet. A couple of years ago, I hiked straight up here and then took like a shortcut up to Rondslottet. Maybe I save around 30 minutes doing that. Let's do it. I think so. But before we start on the ascent, we're going to have some lunch. Let's see. Beef stew or pasta bolognese? I think I'm going to go for pasta bolognese. This one expired back in 2022. And this one, 2029. So I'm going to keep this one. Okay, so let's talk a bit about how we're doing time-wise. From here and to the top, it's about 1,000 meters of elevation, and the rule of thumb is to add 10 to 15 minutes in hiking time for each 100 meters of elevation. In distance, I think it's not more than 3 kilometers, so that should take, without elevation, it should take about 1 hour, but then you have to add a couple hours due to the elevation. So probably the hike up the mountain will take around 3 hours. So that will say the time is about 1 o'clock when we reach the summit. Then we have 3 hours to get down from the mountain and hike back to the car. It's going to be tight because there's a lot of rocks over the mountain and you're not able to hike at a high pace. It's just not doable. But we'll see. I will try to push on where it's possible to push on and try to keep a heart rate around 150 up the hill. So it's going to be hard, but we will make it. So if I fuel up properly with food and coffee, I'm ready to go within 30 minutes. Right, let's wrap it up and start moving. It's hard work. We made it up the first rock face, and the last part isn't too bad. Just follow the ridge up there and we will be on the top. Ooh. I don't recommend anyone going off the trails and just climbing up the hills if you don't know what you're doing. But I've done this many times before and I have studied the maps to figure out where it's possible to hike and not. So I feel pretty confident doing this, but for a person who is not too familiar with the steep hikes in the mountains, I would just follow the marked trail because it's much more safe. So don't follow my footsteps. What a view! Ooh. Come on! Oh. Holy macaroni! That was hard work. I was hoping to make it up before 12 o'clock and we did. The time is 11:47. So we spent actually not more than 1 hour and 30 minutes from the bottom all the way to the top. Alright, so I guess it's time to start the descent, and we're also going to take one more 2,000 meter peak. On our way down we're going to go up Vinjeronden, which is just above 2,000 meter. So we're going to get one more, and after that you may see the road going back down in the valley. That's where we're going to go. And the car is somewhere far down that road. Whoa! Look at this! And here it goes straight down. I believe this is the most exposed part on the entire trip, so it's not too bad. So now we have come to the last summit, This is Vinjeronden, and from here on it is just downhill. So we're getting close to where we started today, and it feels like forever since we started the hike early this morning. And right behind me you can see Rondslottet, the tourist cabin, and you can almost see where I camped today. It is just behind or past the wooden bridge you see over there. The only thing left is to figure out if I will make it back within the time cap, 4 p.m. We'll see. We made it, but did we make it within time? Let's find out. What is the time? 11 minutes past 3. So we made it with a margin of 50 minutes. That couldn't be better even if I had planned the entire trip in detail, which I didn't. So this trip is over for this time, but I will come back with more content, don't you worry. But as always, thank you for watching. See you again in the next one.